Go.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to eXp Seniors Network Mastermind Tuesday. And we have today Kelly Wheeler. Kelly Wheeler, say hi to everybody.
What's happening, all of my ninja maniacs?
Kelly, thank you for joining us. I just want to let everybody know we are going to record this. So if for some reason you drop out of the meeting, you'll be able to see it tomorrow. I do ask that everybody please mute their microphones so we can hear our guest speaker. Hi, welcome. So Kelly's going to go over marketing to attorneys. And then next week, we're going to do everything probate. So they're kind of going hand in hand. We're going to do all marketing and attorneys. Once we talk about probate next week, you guys can get out there and work with attorneys. So I'm going to let you take it away, Kelly. Thank you for coming back and helping us.
All right, guys, I'm going to, and some of what we talk about today, Heather, is going to broach the probate area. Now, I won't go into detail. I'm not going to talk about probate today specifically, but I'm going to talk about how you can deal with attorneys that practice probate to get listings, right? I'm going to show you an example of one that I just took and closed because of a relationship with an attorney. And this is to me, for especially with our group, this is an untapped source of revenue for agents if they do it correctly. Guys, if you see me look over here, I have two monitors. All of you guys are over here, and my screen that I'm going to share is here. So if y'all see me doing that, that's why I'm doing it. But a little bit about me. How many of you, and drop it in the chat box, yes or no only. How many of you know me or you've seen any of my stuff? Just say yes or no. Like I said, to know me is to love me.
I see some people that said no, and they're in for a treat.
So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of understanding of where I come from. It's going to make sense as we talk about attorneys. Can y'all see my screen right here? Heather, can you see it? Thumbs up. Okay, good. So if you guys want to go to YouTube and search in the search bar for the Kelly Wheeler Group, you'll find my channel. Guys, I have over 4,370 real estate agents subscribed to my channel. You can click the videos. I've got hundreds of marketing videos. They're all right there, guys. These are really good. Now, I will say this. If you're an active agent, don't go to my channel because I know you're going to love this stuff. I'm just telling you. But don't get caught watching this like Netflix and you spend 8 hours because then you become no good. However, there are really good marketing videos right there, guys. So if you haven't done it yet, go find my channel after the meeting, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the bell. There's a little bell. You're going to hit it. The subscribe's here, and then hit the bell. And then every time I put out a marketing video, you're going to be able to enjoy it on your own time. The other thing is you can find me on Workplace right here. If you go to this group right here, I'm going to give you a little treat, guys. Marketing, Social Media, and Lead Gen Mastermind. There's over 6,000 eXp agents that have joined my channel here. And I've got 4 or 5 of these groups inside of Workplace. But go ahead and find it. Go ahead and join it. I usually let you in right away or within an hour or two. And there's tons of really good marketing stuff on here. And I do some funny stuff like this right here. But if you go to the Files tab, guys, on the Files tab, so just click the Files tab. I've got content here that you are welcome to use. You can download it. There are drip campaigns right here. There's buyer drips, seller drips, expired drips, and for sale by owner drips. I'm getting ready to put in a foreclosure drip. That drip you can put into your KV Core and start using it for any of your drip campaigns. And this is something you're welcome to use. You can change it. Do whatever you want. It's my gift to agents. They can go in there and grab whatever they want. And there's also some other good stuff in here, guys. There's some letters that you can download, change, do whatever you want to do. But anyway, that's a little bit about who I am. And now what I want to do is let's get started with how you can go after what I feel is a really good untapped market for agents, and that's attorneys. The 2 different types of attorneys that I think agents should develop a relationship will be real estate attorneys that also do probate and estate planning. Now today or tonight, I'm not gonna, you guys all should know what probate is, wills, trust, and all of that. But these are attorneys who do this type of work, and they do this really for, in the villages, everybody there has a probate, has an estate, a trust, a will, whatever. So these attorneys, when something happens to those individuals, a lot of them get appointed as what's called a personal representative, which basically means they can list the home and pick an agent. And if an offer comes in, the attorney can sign the offer for that estate. So if you can hook up with these attorneys, and there is an art to this, then you can look at possibly getting a flow of business coming in that year. And I'm going to show you an example of one that I just gotten closed because of my relationship. So guys, I've got the chat bar open. If you do have a question, I'm not sure I'm going to get it right away, but if you'll drop it there, I will get to it. Let's talk a little bit about the psychology of the attorney. Right now, as a real estate agent, you guys can close deals, and most of you are closing deals with your favorite title company. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want a yes or a no. How many of you have closed a deal with your title company and the title company gave you a listing? Yes, they did. No, they didn't. Drop a comment. Go to chat and drop it. I'm waiting for somebody to say yes because I'm going to call you out. Okay, pretty much no. Title companies are not there to give you business. Now, a mortgage, if you've got a favorite mortgage lender, you might be able to do cross-marketing with them, right? But we're talking title companies. They do really one thing. They close your deals. You might be able to get a title company to split. I am an attorney state and have received probate listings. Good deal, Melinda. We'll talk about that later. Title companies, you might be able to get them to cross market with you. In other words, if you had a marketing program, you might be able to get the title company to, split some funds with you, but they don't typically give you a listing. A real estate attorney who does trusts, probates, things like that, they can give you listings, right? So what you want to do, and this is me, guys. If I were an agent, I would find a real estate attorney in my area, right? That does probate, trust, and wills, and does real estate. They're there. There are guys like that. And I would start to wine and dine them. I would call them up to have a meeting. Hey, I'm a local realtor. I'm looking at maybe bringing my deals to your firm. Would you mind if I come over and met you, right? They're not used to that. Real estate agents typically don't do that. We just find a company and we send them a deal and say, close it. And then you develop a relationship. But these attorneys aren't used to you guys as agents calling them. So I would contact these attorneys and say, hey, listen, I'm local. When I get a deal, I'd love to give it to you. Are you accepting new real estate? Oh, yes, I am. Well, do you have some time? Can I get in your schedule? I want to come meet you. I want to find out who I'm going to be dealing with, right? So start to do that. Develop that relationship with these attorneys. And guys, here's the benefit. You might not get something the first couple months, but if you are staying in communication with the attorney, if you are making yourself known, chances are you're going to get in rotation. These attorneys like to give their loyal realtors deals. So, personal story. I have an attorney that I close all my deals with. He and I go back a while. I have a couple title companies here I could close with, but the title companies, they're good, but they'll never give me anything. So I'm looking at this as a symbiotic relationship. So this attorney has given me 3 or 4 deals in the last 4 months, right? I never would have got those with a title company, right? These deals, I probably would say that when this next one closes, which I'm going to show you guys, I probably will be somewhere around $29,000 in gross commissionable income just from one stream. So let me show you guys a deal that I just got. Can y'all see this house? Y'all see this? This is in, and how many of you, Donald, if you're still with me, and Heather, how many of you guys are familiar with Royal Highlands? It's right there in Leesburg, right? A great subdivision.
Yep. A couple there.
Okay, so this house came up And I was able to list this home because of my relationship. We sold this in 3 days, all cash buyer, 359. And guys, when this closes in about 2.5, these buyers want to close now. So 359 times 3%, there's almost $11,000 commission. Why did I get that? Relationship. And I've got several of these I could show you. And why is that? Because I've got this relationship with this attorney and I'm working this relationship. I'm not just expecting him. I mean, I bring deals to him. So guys, reaching out to a local real estate attorney, probate trust, estate planning, I think is pivotal for you. It could be worth 3 to 7 to 8 deals a year for you guys once you have his or her attention and you show loyalty. These attorneys want loyalty. Now, let's talk about how you find these attorneys. Let me ask you this, yes or no, did anybody here know any local real estate and or estate planning attorneys, probate attorneys near you? Does anybody, yes or no? Okay. All right. So there is a couple things you guys can do to find these attorneys. First thing I would do is just go and Google local attorneys in my city and just call them. Introduce yourself. See if you can set a 10 to 15 minute appointment. There's another company, guys, called Avo. If you want to write this down, AVVO. So I did this for the villages, okay? When you go to Avo, it asks you what practice area you're interested in and what city. I did the villages, I did probate lawyers, and here's what popped up, okay? Lots of attorneys. So what I do then is I would start to look at these attorneys and find out what they do in terms of practice area. The best attorney for you guys to hook up with is somebody that has a real estate department as well as a probate trust and estate planning will, because they're going to be able to close deals. Now you become valuable to them because you're bringing deals, and they do all of this state stuff. So you can go through and take a look at these individual attorneys and find out what they do. And then look, when you go to Avo, guys, you see this thing that says message. This is really cool. A lot of agents don't know you can do this. They allow you to private message, and trust me, I used to market for attorneys. I was, for 5 or 6 years, I was a marketing director for some very large law firms. They treat Avo like it's the Bible. I mean, if they get a bad review, all hell breaks loose in their office, right? So these attorneys love to get their reviews and love to get their stars. And these messages, because Avo, an attorney has to go in and literally create their account. Avo wants them to respond to these messages. So if you go in here and make a message, blah, 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 and you hit whatever and submit it, that attorney is going to get that message. So you could just drop a line in there. I'm a local real estate agent. I understand you do probate. Would you allow me a couple minutes to come share with you what I do here locally? Right? Now we're going to get to offers in a minute, but this is how you could reach out to local probate attorneys to introduce yourself. And guys, here's what I know. If you do this enough times, they will get to know you and they will get to realize who you are. Understand, the squeaky wheel gets the worm. And so there is a great, great, great resource for you guys to find these attorneys. Now, how many of you, this is not, Don, just so you know, this is not a Mailbox Power presentation, but how many of you have access where you could send a postcard to these attorneys? See, I would be doing that. If I wanted to find probate attorneys, I would send them a postcard once a month. And there's many different companies you can get postcards from. I would look into that. I would be sending these attorneys just a really nice personalized card. Hey, I noticed you guys are in the area. I just wanted to just reach out and tell you, thank you so much for serving our city. My name is, I do that. If you guys ever have any needs, or if you've got any clients that you like to refer, allow me to share with you what I do, right? Those are really valuable things you can be doing to let these attorneys know who you are. And again, guys, if you go to Avo, you can literally message all of these attorneys, like right here, 1, 2, and I tend to stay away from anybody that doesn't have good reviews. And I like to see people with more than 14, like this guy's got 1 review. That tells me he's not doing a lot of business. So I'm not going to really, I won't really reach out to this guy, but anybody that's got 10, 15, 20 reviews or more, I would do that. So here's a lady with 12. So anyway, you can do this in any city. You can do it in any county, any zip. The other thing I do is I can look for a list, guys, of attorneys in my county. Remember, you can scale this. Right now, there's 329 attorneys. I can go ahead and try to pull a list of all of these attorneys that have something to do with real estate and send them a letter, send them a postcard. So that is an avenue for you guys to start building. Now, let's talk about return on this investment. Are you going to get something the next week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Probably not. You might, but probably not. This is long-term building. But one of the reasons why we joined eXp is the ability to have multiple streams of income in our business. I want you to consider this as a stream of income that you are crafting. And when you get attorneys who know you and start sending you business, guys, that could be a long-term relationship. It only takes 3 or 4 lawyers to give you 4 deals on average. So if you get 4 deals a year and you've got 3 or 4, that could be 12 to 16 deals a year. And guys, the average deal is $300,000 at 2.5%. You do the math. All you got to do is keep those guys happy and let them know that you're professional. But this is going to take some time to develop. But I would definitely counsel you guys to take stock in this type of marketing. Remember, it's not all about you going out and buying ads on Facebook and working with buyers and working with sellers. It's also finding out how you can craft your real estate empire to have multiple streams coming in. You ever see these guys that are mega teams? And they're doing like, 500-600 deals a year. Well, they didn't get that way overnight. They got proficient with a couple areas and just built on that. The old adage is there's riches in niches. This is a niche. This is a niche. And this is definitely an avenue for you guys to do it. Now, let's talk about, and Don, I'm going to rely on you if it's okay. If you need to step in here and add something to this, or Heather, you please feel free to. I want to share something with you that I was able to partake in a mastermind event a couple of years ago. And this coach shared something with me and it stuck with me. And I'm going to share it with you guys, but let me give you a disclaimer. You need to check with the state broker. Okay. Don't just say, oh, Kelly said we could do this. And if you're watching this video and you're not in Florida, check with your state broker before you do what I'm getting ready to share with you. Because you've got to make sure you do this right so you stay compliant with ethics. We all know that if a real estate agent or a referral company that's licensed sends us a lead, we can pay them a referral, correct? And a lot of these guys charge 25, 30, 35%, right? What we can't do ethically is if Jimmy Joe Bob Jingleheimer Schmidt 5 streets over says, hey, Kelly, I'm going to let you list my cousin Ubi's house, and I just want you to give me $2,000, right? You can't do that. And the agents do that. But ethically, you could lose your license and your livelihood. So that's a big no-no. The same thing with attorneys. You can't just stroke a check to it. So if an attorney gives you a deal that's going to make you 12 grand, you can't stroke a check for $1,000 to the attorney. We all know that. Now, what can you possibly do? So if you have, now we're going to talk about divorce attorneys. Back to Avo, guys. I was showing you probate. You could also go after divorce attorneys. What can a divorce attorney do for you as an agent? Give you a potential home to list. Here's a couple that's going through divorce, and they've appointed me the attorney to find them a realtor, right? These divorce attorneys are referring homes out to realtors all month long. You got a couple going through divorce. The court says, listen, we're going to go ahead and get this divorce, but you have to go ahead and sell your house and split the assets. So then this couple has the attorney hire an agent. Agent goes and lists the home, and boom, it's done, right? What is something you can offer the attorney? You can't offer the attorney a check for the listing, but what do attorneys do? Guys, what does an attorney do? They preview contracts. They will go over contracts for a specific fee to a client. So if I'm a business owner and I've got a contract to purchase a commercial property, and I know this for a fact because my attorney, I just saw my attorney did this the other day for somebody. When you connect with that attorney, say, look, I need you to go ahead and look at this contract. I'm going to pay you. What is your hourly rate? $500 an hour. Okay. I need you to go ahead and tell me if this contract is any good. That attorney then will go ahead and preview that contract, and he will then it's thundering. He will then let that client know whether or not that contract was good. He'll say, look, this looks really good, or I would change this. And that client is going to pay him for those legal services. That's legal. So I was in a mastermind event, and Don, I really want to get your opinion on this. This guy said, listen, you guys are missing the boat with probate and divorce attorneys. He said, while you can't legally give them money for the listing, that's illegal. What you can do, and this is why I'm telling you guys, I'm bringing this to the table. Check with Andrew if you're in Florida, check with our brokerage team. Just make sure that you guys are okay with this. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you that this is something you could do if the broker approves it. So here we've got, let's say we've got divorce attorney here in the Villages, right? We can develop a relationship with that attorney. We can say to that attorney, listen, if you've got any homes and you can refer them to me, here's what I'm willing to do. Obviously, your clients are going through a divorce. The court is mandating that they have to sell their home. That means we're getting a contract that both sides have to agree on. Would you be okay? Now, you can't, the realtor can't, but if you're charging a 3% listing fee, you can do an addendum, or you can talk to the clients and say, would you mind if we take $1,000 out of the fee that you're paying me? I want to give you a reduction of $1,000. I want you to pay this attorney to look at the contract. He's $500 an hour. It's going to take an hour or two, let's just say 2. And then the seller at closing, there'll be a line item, can pay the attorney. All you're doing is gifting it to your seller. So this is a really cool strategy. I haven't done this in a while, but there are a lot of attorneys out there that I think this would probably be something they would like to see. Now, there are ethics involved, and you've got to make sure that you're doing this the right way. And I'm not telling you to go out and tell attorneys, hey, I'm going to do that. Just understand this is a marketing principle. You get with your broker, make sure the broker knows I'm not paying the attorney. My client's going to pay the attorney. We're just going to reduce the commission for that amount. And the attorney then can look at the real estate contract, which isn't really a bad idea, and make sure that it complies with the decree of the court. Don, do you have anything you want to add to that? That is just one of those things I wanted to bring to the table, but I'm not telling you guys to do it. I'm saying this is an avenue for marketing. Just cover your assets, talk to your broker and say, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Don, what do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely check with your broker, without a doubt. I think certainly it's a way to increase your business for sure. The second thing is just bringing in business, and you doing the business for him. He or she's going to be very grateful that you're doing a great job for his clients, because what's going to happen? His clients are going to refer him and refer you because you did a great job for them potentially.
Exactly.
It just needs to be, as you said, you need to make sure your state broker approves it. And we got to use the word rebate, right? In a lot of cases, right? Because that is a legal term that we can use.
That is, and you can legally give back to the seller X amount of dollars at closing. We are allowed to do that. So let me recap what I'm saying. If you develop a relationship with a divorce attorney, a probate, whatever, because a probate attorney still has to make sure that the contract, like the one that I just did, the attorney, I sent him the contract to look at it before we accepted it. Well, this attorney charges $500 an hour. Right now, obviously he's not charging me because I've listed the home and he's the attorney. However, he does go over the contract. At least I want him to. So in this scenario, if you presented it in the correct way, this is an avenue for an attorney to have billable hours. It just makes sense. But again, I'm gonna stop with that. I just wanted to present this to you guys. Talk with the broker. If the broker's like, yeah, if you do it that way, then there is a marketing angle for you guys to talk with attorneys. Now, what Don just said was correct though. The highest level of marketing is offering, exchanging something of value. What is the value I bring to the table? I'm ethical. I get deals closed. I handle problems so that the attorney doesn't have to. And I only get him involved or her involved if needed. It's kind of as needed, and usually I don't. So that is worth $1,000 to this guy, and loyalty. I bring my closings to this particular attorney. So guys, there is an avenue for you to reach out, find yourself a closing attorney that also does probate, trust, wills, divorce, and start that relationship off. Now, one of the things I would be doing is, as you're winding, remember, not all attorneys are going to be a good fit for you. You need to find one that has volume, and they're out there. So I would be probably doing some really cool stuff. Like I would be sending, like the guys that I use, because I have software that lets me, I sent them some really cool coffee cups with their picture on it. I make sure they get postcards from me. I thank them every time I get something from them. I thank them with like a postcard. But guys, all of that stuff is there for you to make sure they understand they are very valuable to you. Can I tell you, after having been in the legal industry for 5 to 7 years as a marketing director, attorneys value loyalty. And the worst thing in the world, and I know this because I've had this conversation with one of the attorneys I deal with, the worst thing in the world is for them to give you deals and they find out you brought something to another closing company. That'll get you cut in half. But guys, there is an absolutely awesome potential for you guys to do business with these attorneys, with these divorce lawyers. Just make yourself known. You can go to Avo, you can pull them up on Google in your city and start. But I know with Avo, you can literally message them and that attorney is going to get your message. And it's okay to message them more than once, just not like 5 times a day. But right now, before I do anything else, does anybody have, Don, can we let people unmute themselves if they have a question?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, anybody have any questions for me?
Kelly, I have a quick question. So you're mentioning that to reach out to the attorneys, but like you just mentioned, if one finds out that, you've given business to someone else, then, I mean, it gets kind of Willy Wonka on that.
Let me make sure that I explain that correctly. These attorneys don't all get together and say, hey, I got 3 closings from Heather, and I got 2 from Janice, and I got 1 from Patricia, and 1 from Diane and Amelia, and then another, oh, Amelia sent you something? Well, that's not what I'm talking about. If the attorney, and this has happened, let's say the attorney gives you a house to list,
Okay.
and you, for whatever reason, take that deal to another title company to close.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
And that happens. Trust me. I know this because I still have attorney friends and when we talk from time to time. And the thing that's a deal killer for them is when they give business to we're talking about a relationship that could yield $35,000 to $75,000 a year in GCI if you play your cards right.
Got it.
And they value loyalty above everything else. But again, let's make sure we're all understanding this is not a marketing strategy that's going to get you rich in the next 3 months. This is a marketing strategy to bring a wing into your business, if done correctly, can yield massive results for years to come. So I would definitely be talking and targeting specifically in my city, a real estate attorney that does these other practice areas, because if you practice this the correct way, they are going to see you. Your name is going to be brought up. Hey, they brought me some more closings. And here's what I know. If I bring 4 or 5 or 6 closings to this attorney in the next 2 or 3 months, he's going to get my attention, or I'm going to get his attention. And then one day, here's another strategy. Just out of the blue, call him up. Hey, do you mind if I take you to lunch? I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your company and what job you guys have been doing for me. Guys, believe it or not, they're human beings. They love it. When I contact my attorney, he's like, yeah, let's go do lunch, right? We'll sit down and we won't even talk real estate or law. We'll talk about something his wife did or something my kids did. And I'm going to this festival. It's just a conversation. But again, it's establishing trust and building it. And I know this, if you approach it like this, you will yield results, but you have to do this in the correct manner. You can't just call them up and bully your way in. You've got to drop some things. You've got to be willing to bring some closings to them. And then over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you start to drop some hints. Hey, listen, I do work the local area. Mr. Attorney, if you ever get a probate that needs to be listed, I would love the opportunity for the business. Nothing wrong with that, right? I've been dealing with my attorney for years. I actually went and said that. And he was like, you know what? Yeah. And it wasn't long that I had my first deal. Can I tell you what's really great about getting these listings? You're not competing with other agents. Does that make sense? So, I mean, I could go 50 different ways from this, but I think that is the essence of what and I know this wasn't a sexy marketing phone call or Zoom, but guys, this is strategic for every one of you if practiced in the right way.
Yeah, Kelly,
go ahead, Don.
We got a couple of more questions. Tom DeLuca, go right ahead.
Let me see. Let me look. Yes. Let me go back up. Yes. So, look, Melanie said she interviewed one on Friday. Melanie, where are you? Unmute yourself, Melanie.
Hey there. I'm actually, I'm in Tampa area.
Love it.
Yeah. And I had an interview with somebody from the north end of Florida who covers, he's now coming to Pasco and Hillsborough, which is my territory. And I've worked probates for quite a while. So my strategy is just like what you're teaching, get in there and get in front of these guys.
Right.
And we did a quick Zoom because he was north, and it went amazingly well. Amazingly well. And he's excited. And yeah, so we're going to meet when he comes down.
So I'm going to drop an offer on you guys that you can offer these attorneys. Now, disclaimer, I am not a 1% lister. However, I have been known to rebate, I hate to use that word, my commission if it's a long-term relationship. So one of the things you could say to these attorneys, remember, you're willing to pay a 25%. So let's just, Don, help me out with the math here. Matter of fact, Don, you got your calculator?
Yep.
Mine's not working. I want you to take an average, say a $300,000 home. And I want you to give me what a 3% commission, we all know it's $9,000, but give me a 3% commission on it. And I want you to take 25% of that. What is 25% of $9,000?
$2,250.
All right, so watch this, guys. Mr. Attorney, one of the things that I do, and you need to let the attorney know that you're not a commission rebater. You don't do 1%. However, because you're compassionate with these families going through probate, trust, estate planning, and you're also compassionate with families going through divorce, here's an offer. Mr. Attorney, one of the things I will do, and I only do this for the attorneys that give me these deals because, again, I'm compassionate. I want to offer them a 1% reduction in the listing commission. In this case, Mr. Attorney, that could be $2,500. Or you could say, I'm going to give them $1,000 at closing, because you can do that. If you're getting a listing, you, the agent, set the commission. So you could say in this instance, when I do get deals, and these are people that are going through estates, death in the family, I want to make sure I take care of them. So again, this is something you want to talk to your broker about. But again, if you're willing to give a referral company $2,500, what are you willing to give a client that gets referred to you from an attorney as a way of saying, hey, I want to make sure that I take care of you. And this is a way for you and your family to, have more income at the outset of the sale. So these are some things you guys can do. But with that offer, again, check with your state broker. Say, this is one of the things I would like to do. This is an offer. It is a commission reduction. I'm willing to give this to a referral company. May I give it back to the client when they get referred to me? So those are some offers you can make. Heather, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Don, what do you think?
So
Yeah,
Kelly,
I think that's definitely doable. I mean, referrals and rebates back to clients are very well receptive, right? They like that they're getting some money back while you're doing a great job for them.
Yep. But again, check with your broker. You're not offering the attorney any money. You're saying to the attorney that listen, when I talk with a for sale by owner, if I know that for sale by owner is buying another house, here's generally what I'll say. Mr. Fisbo, I want to talk to you about a program that I have that you literally can potentially hire me for free. Here's how it works. I'm going to list your home for this much. When we sell your home and we go make an offer on the next home, I'm going to ask the seller to give us up to 3 points back on the closing of the home you're buying for closing costs, prepaids, all of that. Mr. Fisbo, if I can't get at least 1.5 points back, you're going to get one of my buyer points to use for closing cost prepaids. Now, if I get all 3 points back, it's like you hired me for free, right? This is an offer I make. And generally, I'm only going to give that if they're buying another home, because now I can take this transaction from 2.5 to 3% to possibly 5%, right? Again, it's an offer, guys. Your offers are your offers. If I've got somebody willing to refer me to a client, then this is what I'm going to do, whether it's for a probate for the people that are heirs, or if it's in a divorce. I want to make sure that the clients know I'm taking care of them. So again, this is something you want to check with the broker on, but what a great, if the broker says, yeah, you're just rebating your commission, what a great offer to make to these attorneys, because I tell you, no other agent's doing that. Other agents are taking the listings, they're like, thank you, and then they're doing whatever they want to do. This is where you're putting skin in the game. And again, if you've got an attorney willing to give you 4, 5, 6, 7 deals a year, who's he going to want to continue to give deals to? Those people that take care of these clients, or agents that do a good job, but the client's not benefiting from it in terms of the economics. So anyway, that's a cool offer you guys can give. At this point, Don and Heather, I'm really done with the probate, the divorce, the attorney training. This is pretty cut and dry. Can we open it up for questions?
Hey,
Yes.
Kelly. Hey, Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Debbie Gentry. So one thing that I run across with a lot of the probates up here is families want to argue over doing repairs, argue over spending a penny before they sell, etc.
Yes.
So some of the difficult ones that need the repairs, and it's minor junk, it's maybe $500 worth of stuff. I will do that and say, okay, I'm going to give you this back in free repairs.
I do the same thing.
Exactly. Because what happens is you get a higher sales price and you get it back anyways.
Correct.
So, that's another way to do it. And the other thing that I have used here is with the estate planners, they're always wanting to do seminars.
Mm-hmm.
So if you volunteer your real estate knowledge to them to say, hey, I'll do market updates with your seminars free of charge, they love you.
So guys, what she's saying is this is that part of the conversation Don and I were talking about where you're bringing value to the relationship. You're exchanging your knowledge for their ear, for their audience. So it's a great way for you to give value. And it's kind of like this. If you were a for sale by owner, what's a better value added statement? If a franchise broker calls you and says, hey, Heather Brooks, I noticed your home's for sale by owner. I'm a really aggressive agent and I work this area well. When are you up to interviewing some aggressive agents to finally get your home sold, right? That's not an exchange of value. That's me just hammering you for a listing. Heather, I noticed that you're selling for sale by owner. Congratulations. I would love to do a couple things for you and none of them have you listing with me. Do I have your attention? Yeah. Well, here's what I'd like to do. I want to give you a free website. This website, you can do blah, 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 blah. It has your contact information, not mine. I also would love to give you 10 free buyer leads. These are people that I'll find that are looking to buy in your general area. I'd love to drop these off, share with you how I found these buyer leads, and then let you know exactly what to say to potentially get them to come preview your home. You might even find that you have a buyer in this list. Would you mind if I did that? I'm giving Heather something of value. I'm not trying to get the listing right now. My hope is that if she decides to list with a realtor, she's going to remember the value I brought. See, there's two different ways that you can approach Heather. One works better than the other one. Same thing with what Debbie was saying. You give something of value, which is your expertise, and it yields massive long-term results. Anybody else got a question? This is the time to do it, guys. Just unmute yourself.
Business to attorneys and associates.
So this is Donald again. I just want to make sure when we talk about the rebate, when Kelly and I were talking about the rebate earlier, you want to make sure you get buy-off from everybody, right? So everybody's got to sign that addendum, the listing agent, the buyer agent, the buyers, the seller, the mortgage company, everybody's got to sign off on that to make sure that everybody is aware that you're giving back $1,000 or whatever it is that you're giving of value, everybody, including your state broker.
Yeah.
They need to know you're giving something of value to someone else, and everybody's got to know about it. So it's not like you can just put an addendum together, the buyer, the seller, yourself, and the listing and the buyer's agent sign it. Everybody's got to know it's in play.
Perfect. That's actually true. To be ethical, everything has to be above board. This is not a scam. This is not a a bait and switch. This is business. And if you've got the permission from the state broker to do any of the ideas we talked about today, then you've got to make sure you present it in a way that everybody is aware. The worst thing in the world is to go in one direction and the other party finds out about it. Number one, you could get in trouble ethically. And number two, you start to look like a flim-flam, right? This is all business. It's all business. This is what I'm going to provide this, and you agree to it. This is the conclusion. This is what's going to happen at the end, not let's stumble through it. So Don, you're exactly right about that. Everything has to be agreed to and known. Okay, anybody else? This is where you unmute yourself if you want to jump into this pool of thought.
Janice wrote, do you have any ideas for sending business to attorneys in escrow states? Attorneys don't close deals in her state.
Huh.
Donna, you want to mute yourself?
Okay, yeah, actually, where's Donna?
Donna?
You still with us, Donna?
Hang on. Yeah, I had to turn off my air conditioner. It was loud. I'm cooking. I'm cooking in Portland.
Oh gosh. Donna,
Yeah.
I asked the question. So
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. I guess one idea is reviewing the listing agreement. You mentioned that, but we don't have attorneys closing deals. Like maybe they do it privately for people, but all of our
list probate attorneys, right?
We do have probate attorneys.
Okay, so that probate attorney in some cases might be appointed as what we call a PR in Florida, a personal
right.
And that attorney then has power to sign any contract you bring them. At least, remember, I'm talking Florida. I don't know your state. But in here, the attorney can, once I get an offer to contract that as is, the attorney can sign off on it just as if he were the seller. And when it closes, the funds get dispersed to the heirs, right? So what you could do is, maybe not go at it from he's going to close the deal, but maybe go at it from, let me share with him why I'm a great agent, start to build that relationship and see if he can maybe refer you to these deals. And then just, build that relationship as to why you are the best choice for his clients because of what you do. Divorce attorneys, same thing in your state. I would be going after those guys too, because they a lot of times will have to find people to, the court says you got to sell the home. Guess what? Realtors are listing divorce homes right now. There's a contract at 746 being sent electronically to two people divorcing to list their home right now as we speak. So it does happen.
So here in California, I know Los Angeles people, there's a website that you can access for all of the cases of people that have filed for divorce that day. And people will go after those cases and try to contact to get the sale of their home, whether or not they're selling or it's just people that just filed. So that's like another thing. There was another, Isabel asked, can you share scripts for lawyers? Do you have anything like that?
So that's a good question. I don't mind putting something together, and Don and Heather, I'll share it with you guys privately and you can share it to the group.
Wherever they are, want the straighter light, and then
there we go. So I don't have anything I can give you right now, but I can put something together that just makes sense because I deal with attorneys. So Heather, if you could just remind me by Monday of next week and I'll get it over to you. One of the other things I want to share with you guys, and we didn't really talk about it today, there's one other attorney that you could be dealing with. What if I were to ask this group collectively, I'm about to share my screen to show it to you. If I were to ask you guys collectively, what other law practice, based on the fact that we just went through COVID and we're coming out of it, what other practice area you think is going to possibly be something that could benefit you as an agent off of somebody else's bad luck? But what do you think a practice area that we should be going after as a realtor to help people out? What do y'all think?
trust attorneys.
Yeah, but no. Yes, but not.
Something in senior care, senior living?
Nope.
Foreclosures.
Yeah, who said that?
Debbie.
Debbie Gentry.
Debbie, okay, here's what I want you to do, Debbie. I want you to email Heather your favorite picture of yourself and your address. Heather, get me that picture and address, and she's going to get a coffee cup with her picture on it from me.
Can I have a picture of somebody else?
Whatever picture you want, send it to Heather with your address, and you're getting it.
You could probably drop it off to her because she's right there in the Villages.
I'll mail it to her. So yes, foreclosure attorneys. Now, guys, we just came out of COVID, right? And there are going to be opportunities in the next 12 months. Now, I don't think, my humble professional opinion, I don't think we're going to have what we had in 2010, 11, 12, and 13, where, you know, you had 10 million homes that went through foreclosure. I think, though, that we are going to start to see an uptick. And what is it that these families need? They need to either sell their home pre-foreclosure, or they need to sell it through a short sell. So what you can do is find bankruptcy attorneys that can refer you to their clients if you have a good offer, and start working foreclosure leads. Now, here is something I'm going to share with you guys. And Don, if it's okay with you, what I'm going to do, if you guys are interested, I am going to share my screen right now. Boom. Here is a company that I get a lot of my leads from. I am not doing, I know we're almost done for today. I'm not doing a training on My Plus Leads. Some of you that know me know I train on this. This is one of those softwares that I use exclusively every day of the week. This is where I get my FSBO data, my expired, but they also have pre-foreclosure data, okay? So if you get this system, you could be getting information on people getting ready to go through or going through lis pendens, foreclosures, and you can literally send them a postcard with your offer, right? Hey guys, my name is, I understand you guys might be going through some difficulty after COVID. If you found yourself in this position, here's what I can do to help you. Call or text me. And I would be sending out those cards every month to these potential foreclosures. Here's why. If it gets to the point where it's in lis pendens, there's a possibility that they've already incurred a $25,000 attorney fee. So so for those of you guys, here's another caveat. If you reach out and you find somebody going through foreclosure or getting ready to be served and they're not with an attorney, pay close attention. There's a way for you to refer them to the attorney if it needs to have a short sale. And that attorney, a lot of these attorneys will do a free short sale negotiation if they're going to get like a bankruptcy out of them, or if they're going to close the deal. Here in Florida, you've got bankruptcy attorneys that also do real estate. So if they're a closing attorney, this is a way for you to send them clients. If you go out and find somebody that wants to use you to list their home, but maybe they need some help with short sale, a lot of these attorneys will do that. Now, I'm not saying they all will, but there's a way for you to send a client to an attorney. Quid pro quo. If you do enough of these to an attorney, there's a possibility that that attorney will quid pro quo and say, I like what you're doing. I want to have a good relationship. Here's a probate, go list it, right? Another opportunity. Now I use this company, My Plus Leads, and I'm going to drop this. I don't care what you do with this. You're welcome to use them or not. I really could care less, but this is where I get my data. I'm going to leave you this link, guys, if you want it. Right down here are the services. If you'll notice, free trial for 30 days. So you can get it. If you like it, pay them. If you just do foreclosure data, it's $39 a month, guys. It's month to month. If you want to do expires and FSBOs, you can pay them the $50. I don't give a rip. But for the pre-foreclosure data, it's $39 a month after the free trial. This might be a great source for you to generate leads to get some listings. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this link for the free trial. Guys, I'm going to go over here to the chat. Let me find it. Here's the chat. I'm going to drop this link. It's up to you to get it. Let me go to everybody. It's up to you to get it, because when we're done, this link will be gone. So there it is right there. If you guys want that link and you want access for the 30-day trial, you can do whatever you want to do. You can get FSBOs, expires, but definitely pre-foreclosure, because you can start communicating with these people and become the solution to the problem. Does that make sense? All right, I'm done. Don, I don't know, Heather, I don't know what you want to do from here. I'm still available if they want to ask questions. Totally up to you. You got me for however long you need me.
I'm going to just make a quick announcement and then we can open questions, answers. So next week we have Bill Gross, a broker from Beverly Hills, from
Great guy.
here in LA, and he is going to do everything probate. This man knows everything and anything about probate. And I know that he's sitting, I know he's in somewhere in our room. Bill Gross, are you there? Can you chime in, Bill?
I am. I wouldn't miss Kelly Wheeler talking about attorneys, probate. He's the ninja. So I'm always trying to learn. Thank you very much for a great presentation today.
Bill, thank you so much. So Bill's been with us for a number of years. In fact, I think, Bill, when I first started 5 years ago or so, you were one of our brokers, right?
No.
Or
I've been
one-
at eXp for 2.5 years.
Yes.
And I was
So
never a
I'm-
broker. I applied, but I was never a broker with it.
Okay. Well, I'm really happy that you're here to help us out. So please join us next week with Bill Gross, who's the guru of probate. He has a team out here. He teaches a lot of probate classes. You have questions about probate, you want to know about paperwork, he's our probate guy at eXp.
Heather,
Plus, I'm much better looking than Kelly, by the way. That's a big appreciation.
Heather, can you private message me about the meeting, and with you and Don's permission, I've got my workplace group with 6,000. I would like to push this particular meeting with your permission.
Yeah,
to
I
my
normally
group,
push it.
and see if you guys can get. I think this is going to be a good one, and I want to be in on it. So you need to send me the links. I can
Oh.
help you. But I'd like to expose my group to it so that they can be involved. I'd love them to hear what Bill has to say.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
Bill, it's a big week next week.
Great, I'm up for it.
Bill, you still have your session on Monday?
I do. I'm in eXp Workplace Monday morning, 10 a.m. Probate group.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else have
anybody-
any questions?
Yeah, if anyone has questions, you're always free to reach out to anybody that we have. They're really great at answering questions on Workplace. Use Workplace. We are going to have a after Bill, we're going to do Instagram the following Tuesday, and the Tuesday after that, we're going to learn everything Workplace has to offer. We're going to have a whole lesson on Workplace.
Excellent.
Anybody put in the chat anything that you're interested in learning or topics of discussion that you'd like to have? Because, moving into August, September, we're looking for new topics. So,
And I'm always looking for help, please. Because right now you've got Donald, myself, and Debbie Gentry heading this group, and we really would like help. I do all the masterminds every Tuesday, so the flyers, all of the posting, anytime you guys can share it would be really helpful. But if you're looking to get involved with our group, we would love the help and ideas.
so I see short sales, LinkedIn, Google My Business,
We've done the Google My Business. We haven't done LinkedIn actually.
foreclosures.
And foreclosures. We did foreclosure. Didn't we do foreclosures? We did.
Yeah, but we can
Heckham.
revisit.
Yes, we did Heckham. We've done a bunch of stuff. So Kelly, keep teaching us stuff. We love it.
Had a really good session today with a bunch of agents. So this was a topic that everybody wanted to hear. This might be something down the road. Does everybody here that had a buyer that you're working with, has everybody here experienced the low inventory market?
Yes.
Have you had situations where it was multiple offers?
Yes.
Have you gotten your butt spanked?
Yes.
Okay. So I did a class today, and this might be something that would be good in the next couple months, just see how the market goes, but how to find homes for buyers no other agent is showing.
What?
How to find inventory homes to give to my buyers that no other agent is showing with no competition. Holy smokes, man.
That's a class for coming up.
Okay. Let's
Heather,
book you.
talk to Kelly about that topic later
Kelly,
on, and we'll get you to
your
give
book-
that class.
The only way I'll do it is if everybody on this meeting will go ahead and personally, when you release the flyer for it, will invite 10 other agents. This
All
is
right.
a topic, guys, that is near and dear to my heart because I'm tired of agents with using excuse that there's just this low inventory and I'm getting beat out. Bull crap. Put your big boy pants, your big girl panties on, and learn how to go find homes that no other agent's showing. And can I tell you, when I share with you this, you're going to be like, holy crap, none of the gurus are teaching this, but man, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Right. So if I'll only do it if everybody promises to go out and get a bunch of people on that call. It is that powerful.
You got it.
Okay, it's done. You're August, actually. Well,
Yeah.
actually end of July. So I'll book it.
We'll come up with a date.
Okay.
That's a good one
It's
for
been my
our
pleasure,
session.
guys. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you,
Kelly,
Kelly
brother.
Wheeler. I appreciate it. And Bill Gross, I'm looking forward to next Tuesday with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Have a
Kelly.
good evening.
Always appreciate your wisdom and knowledge.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for putting it together.
Thank you, everybody. Great information.
Thanks,
Yeah, great.
everybody.
Thank you all for being here.
Thanks. Great training.